Hi there, fight fans. It's Fight Talk UK back on the video. So, my prediction for it's not really a prediction. It's how I see the fight going. And a prediction, kind of, sort of. I'm on the fence, sort of thing. So, it is a tough ask for Terence Crawford. The simple fact is, the weight is actually an issue. If you hear some noise, it's my dog messing in the background. The weight is an issue for me. Like, it is a big issue. The reason being is because although Terence Crawford still is, end of the day, he's cutting to make this weight, to be fair. You know, he probably walks around at like 180. I reckon he probably walks around at 180. I reckon Canelo probably walks around at 190, 185. Probably walks around at, he probably walks around at 200 pounds. But Canelo's fight, he's fought this weight for a long time now, and he's campaigned at this weight and he's maintained this weight. Now, for Crawford, he hasn't, and when he fought at 154, he had trouble with what's his name? I can't remember the guy's name. It's escaped me. But his last fight at 154, I feel he struggled a little bit. Although Crawford is the better skilled fighter, skill for skill, Crawford's a more complete fighter. So if you want to say pound for pound or skill for skill or like for like, Crawford's a lot better. But at the end of the day, Canelo's been naturally walking around his weight and fighting his weight for a very long time now, for the past however long, how many fights now. Although this is the best time to fight Canelo, because it's not saying Canelo that fought Triple G. He's not saying one that fought Triple G. The second fight was a really good fight for him. Not the same guy, you know, that even tried to be competitive a little bit with Bivol. Even though I think Bivol won that fight, I think I gave it 8 rounds to 4. But you know, the weight is going to be an issue. So in realistic terms, my head says Canelo, my heart says Crawford. I want Crawford to do it because at the end of the day, this will put him as the best of this generation and the best in the last however many years, because he's not only been undisputed at lightweight, he's been undisputed at super lightweight, undisputed at welterweight. And if he does this, you know, 3 times undisputed champion, he has to be in the conversation to be, you know, one of the greatest fighters ever. You know what I mean? Like up there with Ali's and the Lex Lewis's and the, you know, the people that everyone talks about as greats. Now, I honestly think this is going to be a tough ask, but it has to make sure. Canelo is known for starting late. Crawford is going to have to start really early and bank some rounds in the early rounds, because Canelo's going to come in the mid to late rounds. Canelo's going to start trying to come and be competitive. Because he uses movement, but not too much. Because Canelo is very flat-footed, and he only uses lateral movement to evade punches. And if Canelo can be hit, he's not like as difficult as he's not defensive as he once was. Even when he was fighting, like when you fight Daniel Jacobs, he was so elusive. Like he was super elusive, and I think like he's not really doing that no more. He's more flat-footed. He's more planting and throwing punches. He's very conservative with his punches as well. So he has to be aware of that as Crawford. Crawford has to be aware of those things. But I know they've been watching him for a while now and eyeing him up and seeing how he works for a while now. His team have. So, you know, I think this is a fight that, you know, it was talked about a very long time ago, because you know, there was talk about the winner of him and Spence fighting Canelo anyway. So his team's been watching Canelo anyway. So I feel it's one of those ones. It's a tough one, but you know, it's really a tough one to just go one way or the other. But as I said, you know, heart Crawford, head says Canelo. But you know, it's boxing, and a one punch can change the whole thing. So let's see what happens in this fight. Now, for me, you know, the weight issue, you know, is a big talking point. It's been a big talking point for a long time. But I don't feel that in terms of like, I think the weight will be in terms of punching power and movement. Can Crawford be able to move the way he used to move at this weight? because Canelo's been warheading on his way for a very long time. Can Crawford be elusive and have movement in this way? I know, and he hasn't fought for, you know, just over a year now. He's just come up to just over a year, so he's been inactive. Would that play a factor? Would that play a factor as well? We don't know. But I'm intrigued to watch this fight. It's an intriguing fight. I will be watching it. I'll be watching it live. I might try and do a live watch along if I can. If you should permit me, I'll try and do a live watch along or something about that, and see if anyone wants to interact with me. But it's a tough fight, man. But it's an intriguing one, and it's a one that holds, you know, the two best boxers, you know, two of the best boxers around at the moment. You know, I mean, I would say, you know, the two best boxers fighting for me would have been Crawford versus Usyk, but that fight could never happen. At that weight, the weight difference is way too much. But that would be the real out test of skill for skill, because they're, you know, those two are, you know, the two best skill fighters out there right now. I think are them two. But obviously, it's that sometimes not to be. The stars can't always align in those ones. But this one, the stars are aligned for Crawford versus Canelo. You know, but Canelo's been the face of boxing for a very long time. He's getting paid a lot of money for this fight. You know, Crawford getting a lot of money, a big paycheck for this fight, getting rumored to be 10 million. Canelo's meant to be like 150 million. This is a big fight. It's just generating a lot of money in Vegas. That's going to generate a lot of money in Vegas. I guarantee it's just probably generate like, you know, close to $1 billion. $1 billion, I guarantee by the end of it, because people will be flying in. People are flying in now to go to Vegas. You know, it's gonna be starstruck. It's gonna be a lot of people at ringside, a lot of famous people at the ringside. So it's a big fight. You know, Denzel Washington's going to be there, you know, to name but a few. You know, so I guarantee you, you know, it's going to be star-studded. So you know, what happens on this fight? You know, can Crawford take one of Canelo's punches? We'll see for the first 2 rounds. We'll see how the fight might play out. Because I don't think it's going to be that cagey at the beginning. I think the way Crawford's mentality and Canelo's mentality, I don't think it's going to be that cautious. I think it's going to go right into it. Yeah, man, that's all I got to say about that, man. I'll do a live reaction after the fight. I'll be straight after the fight anyway. If I'm not doing a live watch along, I'll react straight after the fight. But let me know what you think in the comment section, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and that good stuff, guys. I'm out.